Welcome to the next episode of EPM Chronicles and Confessions. We've got Alex Leung here. Alex, could you please introduce yourself and your EPM journey?
Sure, absolutely. So my name's Alex Leung. I'm the managing director of The Goal Getters. We've probably been in this space for over 30 years. I think it's probably 33 this year. So it's been a while. I myself am a chartered accountant by trade. Some people accuse me of defecting to the dark side from accounting to technology. But, I think all along my journey has always been gravitating towards it. Didn't know what it was really called back then, but I think more and more so, we're gravitating towards this concept of digitally empowering finance and accounting. I didn't know what it was called then as an auditor, didn't know what it was called then as I did ERP implementations and shared services set up in finance transformations. And now it's like, okay, that's sticking with us. This whole concept of finance and accounting needs to find a sweet spot for the future, and it needs to have some technology to help out. And we love helping them getting there. That's me in a nutshell.
Ah, cool. And logically to the next question, and have you found it quite difficult to explain to others outside our industry what you do? Is there been any kind of misconceptions what actually you do?
That's exactly why I think we're still gravitating now more and more so gravitating towards this digitally empowering finance and accounting. Because if I go, oh, we do EPM and CPM implementations, they go, what is that? The funniest thing, and I know you're going to ask this later on as well, Tim, is, when I try to explain it to people, some folks, depending who the audience is, they'll go CPM. Is that like, cost per million or cost per thousand? Is that clicks per minute? What is that? I go like, no, it's corporate performance management. You go, oh, what's that? So it's very difficult to explain. But I find that now that I've started saying it as digitally empowering finance and accounting, immediately they go, oh, okay, it's related to finance and accounting. I got that. Digital, okay, must be technology. Empowering, okay, you must be helping. Got it. So it's helping. Still hard to explain.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, helping. So what's been your biggest challenge in the space you operate in, and also the solution you've done for that?
Yeah, it's a great question, Tim. I think the greatest challenge still resides with helping organizations kick that first stone off of the mountain and rolling and getting momentum. Oftentimes, finance and accounting has been seen as, I'll call it back office. And even over the years, it's gotten to more clerical in nature. But we forgot that finance and accounting really are helping you fuel your company. They're a huge part of it. So the greatest challenge and obstacle that I see and that my colleagues and I think other peers see in the industry is that how do we get that message across to the executive suite and say, you need to help yourself internally to propel to the next step. It's not about just closing the books, right? It's not just about coming up with a plan and collating it together. It's about where is the value? Where is the insights? Completely. And how do we move that forward? That's, to me, the greatest challenge.
Could you share with us a success story that you can say?
There's lots of success stories. Any success story that generally lingers in my mind has to do when we have joint success with whatever we're doing.
Right.
Triple success, in fact. I said, did the individuals on the team get something out of it? Did the firm get something out of it? And did the client get something out of it? When you have win-win-win on this front, you achieve a lot. And we've done so many things over the 30 odd years, Tim. Like one time we were training over 200 people.
Wow.
It was with a global hotel company. And what we did was, they have the facilities. So we literally created a mini conference.
Yeah.
Every individual would sign up for a specific topic that was relevant to the role. And they always had their kind of little curriculum, and they would flow from, room A to D to F or A to X to Z, depending on what. And that was like 200 people in a concentrated time. But I can go on and on. There's so many things that we've done. Moving technologies beyond what they have today and really helping finance and accounting.
Fantastic. So what is the most rewarding part of what you do for yourself?
The most rewarding part is always sharing that success with a client. Like, when we talk to our clients or organizations after the fact, and they reminisce on, oh yeah, remember that really tough time, Alex, and the team was able to pull through. We didn't know why the system was crashing, but we were at 2 a.m. at night and we all got together. We made it work. One iconic phrase from one of the CFOs I had, because we did a narrative reporting solution. He goes like, "I'm looking forward to the next quarter." I'm going, "Get out! That doesn't sound right." When does a CFO say that about the quarter
Yeah,
end reporting?
exactly.
But it's
Yeah,
because like we were able to help them really unlock their potential and hone in on, okay, what's bothering you? How can we help technology get you there? And how can we help? So it's
sure,
great.
definitely. So here's that question. Is there any funny moments that you can share with us?
Oh gosh, the funny moments. Let me think about this. Again, I think one of them is just trying to explain to people what we do is already funny enough.
Yeah.
CPM, EPM, DPM. People say, "Oh, are they all the same?" I go, "No, they're not.
Mm,
One is corporate performance management. One is enterprise performance management, which is supposed to go beyond finance and accounting, and one is business performance management, which is focused more on the process side of things."
sure.
But I try to say at the end of the day, it's about unlocking value, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't
of
matter
course.
if it's from the corporate perspective, enterprise, or processes or technology. Did we make it get better? Did we move things
Yeah.
get better? And I think the funny stories are always about looking back at what we've done and say, like, how in the world did we get that to happen
Yeah.
and maneuver there? I can't think of any other funny stories off the top of my head there, Tim.
Thank you, thank you. So, people move around in this industry, but I've seen you've been a long time in your company. What's the inspiration to join that company and actually stay in the company? That's a big question.
That's a great question. It's the people. Like, we spend probably more than 60% of our waking moments with our colleagues, with the people we work with.
Yeah,
We would love to spend more time with our friends and family. That's always important. But if you can't enjoy what you're doing and who you're doing it with, you see a lot of people could rotate around for that. And for me, I've been like extremely blessed to have a really high caliber, cohesive team that we
right.
can work hard, play hard, and laugh and cry at the same time
Yeah, no, no,
and
that's
enjoy
good.
it. So that's probably why I've stuck with or am where I'm at for so long, Tim.
Cool, cool. So, as you know, the industry is evolving. A lot of, we deal with data ourselves, but how do you get updated with stuff happening out there? I know I see you quite active in the, uh, you know, on the scene, but what do you do in terms of getting yourself, updated?
As some wise folks have always told me, life is a journey of learning. Never stop learning.
Yes.
As you've mentioned before, Tim, I'm active in LinkedIn because I find that there's a lot of thought leaders like yourself. And I know you've interviewed others like Rich Wilkie, Matt Bradley, and others in the industry. And it's because we share that insatiable appetite for knowledge. And for me personally, I want to share that knowledge even more so. I may not know anything at all, but when I find out something that I find is cool, I'm one of the first ones that are so excited about talking about it to people and saying, "Hey, did you know it could do
Yeah.
this?" Like when
Yeah.
ChatGPT came out, "Hey, did you know it could do this?" Or
Yeah.
when Microsoft finally announced Copilot for
Yeah.
Excel or PowerPoint, I go like, "Hey, did you know it could do this?" So I think it's part of my personality is that there's so much to learn out there, and
Definitely.
we want to learn more to help others, right? That's really
Sure.
our motto. So that's how I try to keep up to date. And I'm probably like 30% behind because there's so much happening out there. So much.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks. So, we've got people coming into this industry new. Some people are thinking about coming into it, or people are in it and trying to learn. What's your advice to like beginners or newcomers or trying to learn? What's your advice?
Keep your eyes on the prize. Don't get too enamored with technology. That's an enabler only. People always say you look at people, process, technology, strategy, and controls, right? Keep your eyes on the prize. You could have a Lamborghini, but if no one knows how to operate it, it's just
Yeah.
going to rust.
Sure
So
thing.
anyone coming new into the industry, um, keep your eyes on, that business lens, that value lens. And I think as you look for that and figure out what people need, what organizations need to make it valuable, and you hone in your skills and your knowledge and your trade on that area, everything kind of domino effect kind of just lines up naturally. But if you go with technology first, people are going to say, I don't know this tool. I don't know what you're trying to do. Multi-dimension, what? So focus on, well, what do you want to do? You want to make decisions. How do you do that? Well, I need information. Okay, where is it coming from? It's coming from here, there, and here in Excel and in my head. Oh, okay. Well, how do we fix that, right?
Yeah.
And then it'll just naturally happen.
Cool. So here's that question, it's already changing this industry in the last few months even.
Huge.
What do you think is going to happen in the next 5 years in your crystal ball?
I could barely know what's going to be happening in the next 5 minutes.
True.
I feel like there's a pivot more towards analytics. There always was an underpinning of that, but what we struggled with in the past was technology. The funny thing is, that's what killed us in the past. We couldn't bring it all together.
No.
Excel continues to be that number one application that everyone draws to naturally when something doesn't work. But now you're entering an age where, that's why I said ChatGPT and OpenAI and just generative AI technologies there. You got machine learning. It's kind of interesting now because you go, now with this information that I had, if I start letting some algorithms run wild a bit on this, am I going to get something that better than I had? Or instinctively, do I still know better? So I think the focus will start to hopefully pivot towards closing the books will always be important because it's a necessary evil, but it's not something that someone looks forward to because it's looking at the past.
Yes.
So you see an uptick in FP&A, I'm sure. A lot of people are going on there, from, I'll call it predictive analytics to prescriptive analytics, and now it's going to be intelligent analytics that go beyond that. How do we interact with machines now? Like when we have these chat GPTs, are you leveraging it to the best of your ability? So I see that there's going to be more of that. I see that, in the future, your interfaces are going to be completely different. You might just say, hey, give me the chart for quarter, for year over year, for this segment, for this product. And it goes, boom, ChatGPT goes figure it out. Oh, Tim, by the way, I saw that you did this. Would you like to know that as well? That's a very different shift.
Definitely. No, that's fascinating. Thank you so much for today. I really learned a lot myself too in many ways. And definitely we will hopefully do a few more in the future. Thank you so much, Alex.
For sure. Yeah, I look forward to it. Thanks so much.
Take care then. Bye-bye, Alex.
Bye for now.
Bye.